Hello, my name is Sarah Ball, and I'm from the University of Charleston. Today, I'll be telling you about my business, wireless telemetry. The idea for wireless telemetry came to me when I was working as a nursing assistant at CMC Memorial, about 3 years ago. I saw that many of my patients were suffering from something that wasn't even their illness, but the wires that were being used to monitor their hearts. I saw that these wires caused unnecessary discomfort to my patients while they were already in a very uncomfortable and nerving state while being in an environment that they're not used to, the hospital. These wires limited their movements, caused skin irritation, tethered them to their hospital beds, and became tangled with other wires around them. This is when wireless telemetry came to me. I thought, what if I could make a product that didn't have any unnecessary wires, was lightweight, could withstand anything that the patient put it through, was comfortable for the patient to wear, and was also easy to use. Now that I am almost 3 years in the making of this product, I have found that there are two directions that I could take it. When used at home, Bluetooth can be used to transmit the data to the monitor, which would either be the patient's phone or a computer. When used in the hospital, the frequency that would need to be used is allocated by the wireless medical telemetry systems. They have set aside 14 megahertz of spectrum specifically for this use. As you can see, this product is not completely wireless yet. This is because the leads need to be connected together so they can give an accurate reading. At the top of the image to your right, you can see that there is an extra box hanging from the patient's neck. This is used as a power source for the rest of the leads to connect to. It also transfers the data to the preferred monitor. Since the leads are connected and have a power source, they no longer need a wired connection to the monitor. Wireless telemetry will continue searching for a way to remove all wires, even the ones between the leads, to provide our patients with even more comfort. Our target customer at this time are patients that primarily use home health care. These patients suffer from one or more chronic illnesses, and most require constant heart monitoring. Many of these patients suffer from a respiratory illness and have oxygen, a ventilator, or a CPAP machine at home. When there is a respiratory illness, more times than not, there is also a cardio illness. This is why these patients would benefit from having a telemetry system at home that would allow them to carry out their normal activities of daily living while still having constant monitoring of their heart. The home healthcare market was worth $237.05 billion in 2016 and is projected to grow tremendously to $353.56 billion in 2022. These statistics make home healthcare a great market to introduce a new product into. Our marketing will be largely performed by an existing medical device company that we will establish a licensing agreement with. This company will also be our means of production and distribution of our product. Our selling strategy will involve integrating our product with another product or system that is already being used for at-home healthcare. This other product will most likely be used for respiratory illnesses. Wireless telemetry will be selling business to business and will be operating as an original equipment manufacturer. As you can see, wireless telemetry does have many competitors, and this is just a short list of them. Philips Medical is the device that is already being used in hospitals all around the U.S. AliveCore and ECG Check are very similar to each other, and you've probably seen them advertised. They are the devices that can project your heart rhythm just by placing two of your fingers on the device. One negative about these devices is that they cannot constantly monitor your heart rhythm. eMotion ECG is a product very similar to ours, but it only offers 3 leads, which could cause the device to be less accurate. Wireless telemetry knows that there are many competitors, but we are ready to develop our product to have a competitive advantage at all times. On this slide, you can see our financial projections for the first 3 years of sales. We intend to start sales at the beginning of 2022. We would break even within 2 years of sales, and by the end of our 3rd year, we will have made a profit of $1.8 million. On this slide, you can see our forecast for the first 3 years of sales, which include the financial projections from the previous slide. In our first year, we predict to have at least 25 customers. In our second year, we project to have 300. And in our 3rd year, we project to double our second year for 600 customers. We would also like to keep our employees to a minimum during the first 3 years, since we will be licensing our product to medical equipment manufacturer for production and distribution.
At this time, we are still at the prototyping and proof of concept phase. To move on to our next phase of testing and production, we will need a substantial amount of funding to do so.
Our initial funding for the next step of our plan will be from this competition. This funding will primarily be used to finish our prototyping and start our developmental phase. For further funding, we will apply to enter the NSF I-Corps cohort during the fall of 2021 to potentially receive a grant of $50,000 for customer discovery and validation. While participating in I-Corps, I will apply for SBIR and STTR funding since the application process takes 6 to 9 months. This funding will provide $150,000 or more to complete the developmental phase and move on to the testing and production phase of our business. Now, I hope that you see the value and need for wireless telemetry in our hospitals and hospitals all around the world. Thank you so much for your time. I will now be taking questions.